Fox interviews Hall of Fame trainer Frank Whiteley.
What kind of horse was roughing around the track?
Great. Goddamn, she was. I can't use those words, can I?
You can use any word you want. This is Joe, but...
Frank Whiteley Jr. has trained some of the greatest thoroughbreds of modern times. His list of superstars includes Ruffian, Forgo, and Tom Ralph. I had a chance to talk with Frank in Camden, South Carolina, in the autumn of 1983. Listen now as Frank remembers one of his brightest superstars, the 1967 Horse of the Year, Damascus.
What do you look for with these horses? How do you know who the good ones are right away?
You don't know. You don't know. There's no way to tell.
I remember you were doing when you did the Ruffian story, when they did catch you, you went asking them, they said, how do you know how good she is? Well, we thought she was good, but you don't know till you run her.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody thinks they got the world. I know up in New York, everybody works 35. You got to work 35 to run for 20 claiming.
That's right. You never know. I don't care who it is. Should never knock a horse or trust one until he's been dead for 30 days. There's so much will come back and haunt you. Hey, I'm telling you the truth. You can't trust them, you can't knock them.
I'll tell you a horse I want to ask you about. A horse you ran against, Dr. Fager.
What about him?
What kind of horse was Dr. Fager?
He's a goddamn good horse.
So I know you had a great horse. Took a rabbit to beat him, huh?
No, it didn't take no rabbit to beat him.
You beat him outright? Think you could beat him?
When I had Shoemaker on him.
You did, really?
I'll tell you a little story. Now, you can put this in the goddamn TV.
We sure will.
We were in Chicago, coming up to the American Derby, and Shoemaker, I don't know how many, he'd win 5 or 6 in a row on this son of a burger. Well, he got him beat at Delaware. Horse called Exceedingly beat him.
Right.
In a handicap, and he was experimenting a little bit with him. So, I never talked to Shoemaker much. The only time I'd see him was in the paddock when they go get on the horse, you know. Over telephone, I'd just tell him when I was going to run or something. And I'd see him in the paddock. So he came in the paddock for the American Derby, and I said, Bill, I said, I know you've been screwing around with this horse. He'd been winning with him, but he hadn't been taking much out of him. You see, that's a good thing about Shoemaker. You don't abuse your horse. And I said, I'd like to see this horse be 3-year-old of the year, if not horse of the year. And he was standing there looking at me, arms folded, looked up in my face, you know. I said, don't worry. I said, this son much will beat Dr. Fager going any distance as long as I ride him. And he went out, and in reality was in the race that day. And I was spotting him 6 pounds. And he broke the track record at Chicago that day, run 46-1, and it stood until a Spectacular Bid broke it a couple years ago, and win by 10. And then the next race was the Travers, and the next race was the Woodward. And I asked him about running that old Hedivar in there. He said, well, you can put him in if you want to. It'll be good. But I said, I don't need him.
Well, can you imagine what's going to happen when John Nehru hears this?
I hope he does hear it. and he beat Damascus in the Gotham. I guess it would be Damascus' second or third start that year as a 3-year-old. Damascus went to front at the half-mile pole to Dr. Fager. And Dr. Fager caught him and beat him a neck on a flat mile. And when Shoemaker got off, unsaddling, I walked back to toward the jocks room with him. I said, Frank, I got him beat. It was my fault. I said, as long as I ride him, that son of a bitch will never beat him again.
Who was riding him up when he ran in that? So it's the Brooklyn and Suburban.
Shoemaker broke his leg, you see. I went to California to run him in that series after it was a 4-year-old.
Right, the Struve series.
Yeah, and he rode him in the Malibu and the San Antonio and win easy. And before the Struve came up, he had a fall and broke his leg here, you see. And he didn't ride for about a year. And Yukaza and Bieza rode him the rest of the year. A Turcotte came out and rode him in the Strube and got him beat. Then I give him a couple months off. Then
Most Host beat him in the Strube that year, right? Yeah,
that's right.
He wasn't in his league.
No, well, those things happen.
Yeah.
And I gave him a couple months off. I don't know how much time. I remember how much time I gave him off. I gave him quite a bit of time off.
And then when he came back.
Hey, Walk him that way. Let's go out that gap over there.
I remember when he came back, he carried 133 pounds in that.
Yeah, and
against Dr. Fager. That was a whale of a race. Two of them went down the backside together, step for step. Yeah, I think it was the Suburban. That's when Dr. Fager beat him. Then he blew him out in the Brooklyn. Set a new track record there.
Yeah, I put old Hedivar in there.
Right.
You had to set it up for those Panamanians. Them son of bitches wouldn't listen to you. Yukaza or Bieza, neither one. They were hard-headed. They wouldn't listen to you. And Bieza got him beat in that fall in the Woodward, but by Mr. Wright.
Right. I remember he was 1 to 20, I think, or 1 to 10.
He sent the horse right away from there with that horse, right out of the gate. That was the best way in the world to get him beat.
I know he liked to relax.
That's right. That's right.
Let him relax, and he was unbeatable. I never saw. We did the Travers on the video magazine. I never saw a race like the Travers.
Well, Woodward was the best race he ever ran.
That was considered the greatest meeting of three horses ever.
Right. That's right.
I mean, Buck Pass, Dr. Fager, and Damascus. They were using world record holders, or so to speak, rabbits.
That's right.
I mean, the Hedivar and Great Power looked like bums, and they were damn good horses.
That's right.
Awesome field.
It really was.
Well, if ever was a race to settle horse of the year, that was it. He won that by 10.
Any question.
I actually was a Dr. Fager fan. My brother was a Damascus fan.
Yeah.
We went back and forth, but now that I know this, I got to think twice. Actually, Damascus turned out to be the better stud.
Well, poor old Dr. Fager didn't live to prove it. He's been dead some time.
Yeah, he still had some pretty good ones. He's a damn good broodmare sire.
Yeah, that's right.
Two great horses and a great guy.
Old John Newyer, he was a tough son, but he was a tough trainer. He was. And a couple years ago, Buckfinder now, beat Dr. Patches up there in that Celanese handicap.
Right.
Do you remember that race?
It was a three-horse race.
And they run head-in-head all the way.
Right.
And over in the receiving barn after the race was over, old Newride said to me, "You old son of a bitch, you're still tough."
Frank, you thought we couldn't have a good interview. Thank you.
Damn, we never did say anything about Ruffian.
We didn't have to.